Welcome back to the show, everybody. In today's episode, we will be talking about what it's like being alternative, right? Or identifying as alternative, be that gothic, be it a metalhead, anything, and being a professional. So we're going to talk about that. Sit tight because we're just going to jump right in. Will, what's going on, Will?
I'm doing all right, man. Just another day as a casualty of society, as Sum 41 says.
Damn. Yeah, I feel that. Dang, today was one hell of a day in my professional life, right?
Yeah. What went down? Without getting too descriptive, of course.
Right, of course. All anybody needs to know is that I'm a salesman and that I sell jewelry for a medium-sized brand. And that medium-sized brand does pretty well. And so whenever a brand does well, they have to, audit themselves and make sure that everything is 100% compliant. And so I stress myself out because I care. I care about what I do. I care about how everything looks. I care about how I look. With that being said, today I looked awesome, in my opinion. I looked amazing for the auditor. I wore my black shirt, my black jacket, my black slacks, my black boots, my black tie with a little spider brooch. And the spider's butt is a mother of pearl, so it's really cool looking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and the body of the spider is all black rhinestone, so it looks really awesome, and it's all stainless steel. And of course, I had my little black pocket square, so I looked pretty darn goth. Just gotta bring the darkness,
right,
to all that shininess that I'm around day and
right. Since you work in the selling jewelry industry, it's a very bright profession. You gotta tone it down.
Yeah, I have to be that darkness while everybody else is looking at all that brightness.
Right.
So, but it brings a lot of attention to me,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I've dealt with for a long time. Is, I am a little different from most other people who wear suits and wear button-ups, and I don the dark ties, I don the dark shirt every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten to the point where people honest to God, they know Tim is pretty goth. Tim is pretty dark, Tim's very alternative. And in the workplace it's not usual, So I don't know how. For me, it feels, I guess I would say it's liberating to feel, the eyes on me, for people to be like, oh, look, he's different, and I don't really get the whole like, hey, it's not Halloween yet, but that's because I'm a professional. I wear my corporate goth outfit, done in the suit and the tie. But it makes me wonder, man, like how do you deal with stuff like that? Like, or do you go into work looking any more alternative than you do at home?
Well, not necessarily, but actually I want to jump on something before we move on past your corporate goth attire. One thing that is good for you is that even though you are in a situation where you do have not necessarily a uniform, but more of a dress code per se, right, where again, it's mostly, if you're guys, suits and ties,
right,
professional. For the ladies, it's more of a dress. But at least even with sticking within that range, people who come to your store know this guy's different. He's still within the dress code. He's not going to have his manager, looking down on him like, you're out of dress code, but you're unique. You're not like everyone else who's just wearing, the gray, the navy.
Yeah.
You're black on black and you're identifiable by that. That way, if someone comes back to your store and say, oh, I was told to ask for Tim. Oh, it's this guy dressed in all black.
Yeah. And it's funny, I will tell my clientele, like, hey, if you come back to the store and you're looking for me, just remember I'm always wearing black. I say that to them and they recognize me for that. Yeah, so you know, people identify me with the color. You know, they
Mhm.
go, "Oh, okay, so that dude's wearing all black. Okay, that's Tim."
Right.
You know, and then of course, like I'll always garnish myself with the little things, the
Mhm.
brooch. You know, I'll have a pocket square.
Mhm.
Um,
Maybe add some color with a tie.
and very, very rarely, my friend. Very rarely.
Okay.
There are times I'll wear red and black tie. You know, I've got
Mhm.
my blood tie. That's what I call
Mhm.
it. I've
I was gonna say
always
because I
got
know I've seen you with that tie, so
yeah.
I know you have at least a little bit of color in that
I
tie.
you know I used to have a lot more color. I used to like I still do. I have these ties. You know, I just don't
Mhm.
wear them.
Right, you didn't throw them
But
out, but
right. I have a tie with flowers on it. It's real cute, you
Mhm.
know. I have a tie that's like yellow and brownish that goes
Mhm.
great with my brown jacket. But like you said, you know, I've got my core colors. I've got the brown, the tan, the blue, the gray, the
Mhm.
black. But I promise you, like 9 times out of 10 that I go to work, I'm wearing my black suit.
Mhm.
And with that, I'll wear like I said, either a black tie or a gray tie. And that's just to show the tie. You know,
Mhm.
like the any reason why I'd be wearing a gray tie is just so you can actually see my tie on my suit.
Right.
Because the black just blends in with itself.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I got my blue ties, I got my red tie, I got my yellow tie.
Of course, you have
But
ones for every occasion, but you feel most
right.
comfortable.
And yes, I feel most comfortable with the black or the gray tie. But if I'm going all black and I decide to have that dash of color, it's a blue, it's a red. You know, I'm looking at purples as well. I'm looking at
Hmm.
oranges. You know, anything that
Maybe see if you at some point you can find a nice like wine red or maroon one, even though you already have like the
yeah.
dedicated red one. But
I was also thinking black and white. You
Mhm.
know,
Get a pattern
like
in
just
there
right.
again. Just
Yeah,
change up the pattern.
yeah. You know, get a little Sinister Gates pinstripe. You know, I was thinking about. You know, that's funny that we fell onto this. I was
Hmm.
thinking about getting myself like a pinstripe suit. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like how Gomez Adams is that? Yeah,
Yes, yes,
like
that's
really think it's
mhm.
awesome. You know?
Again, very identifiable. Everyone who walks into your store will be able to pick you out and say, "Oh, that's the guy I was talking to."
Oh, absolutely. And it's like now I'm wearing this spider brooch, and I've got my wolf brooch. I
Hmm.
do have a brooch that's like it's like a little skull with a black gray rhinestone in it, and it's
Hmm.
got little bat wings that come out. It looks
Oh,
very Avenged
nice.
Sevenfold. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very Avenged Sevenfold. I'm still a little bit afraid to wear that one. I only just started wearing a ring of mine that has a skull on it to
Hmm.
work. Uh, Usually like I had to be very soft with everybody. How I
Hmm.
started out like was with my other suits, you know,
Hmm.
and I would only wear one ring on my finger with my watch. Very, very conservative, you know, jewelry
Hmm.
business stuff.
Right.
And as time has gone on, and of course, like you know, a little bit of character building. I'm in leadership, so I am a manager at this store.
Hmm.
Um, you know, and as I've come into my role, gotten real comfortable with my everything, I've decided to express myself how I like to. You
Hmm.
know, so I'm starting to wear little skull ring here, little spider brooch
Get a little
there.
more creative. Get a little more
Right.
inspired.
Yeah, and really show people that like, hey, I'm alternative. You should know this.
Hmm.
Hey, before you talk to me, just know that I'm alternative.
Right.
Like yeah. But with you, how can you express yourself in your place of work?
For me, essentially, it is very simple since we don't necessarily have uniforms. Essentially, just again, it's a dress code. You know, I work in an office, so it's jeans and a polo shirt, basically.
Right.
So I mainly also wear black on black. I have, my black jeans. I have my various black, my various black polo shirts. So that's my usual
Oh yeah.
uniform. But every once in a while, I'll change it up. I'll throw in some blue jeans, wear something dark gray like I'm actually wearing right now. But
Yeah.
majority of the time, it is just black on black. And accessories, I'm still starting to get into it. Like I know we discussed
Mhm.
the goth night that I had locally recently. That was kind of a bust, but that's another story for another day. But
And I believe you've got a picture and it's somewhere right here.
Yes,
Showing them. Yeah.
I'll put a picture in the video of what I looked like for that event. But that's really where I actually started getting into accessories, because I've always been just very well. I do enjoy, alternative style and things like that. Just in general, as a person, I'm very minimalist, very bare bones. Where the black on black is what I'm expressing.
Right.
It's not so much, the chains, the rings, the necklaces,
right,
all of that, just because it's just a lot of extra things that I feel.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you believe, like, as an alternative person, do you believe that the garnishing, the adornment of jewelry in alternative lifestyles, do you think that's just it's kind of like the word garnish? You think it's just like seasoning the look?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's how you make an average look more put together. It's how you how you dress something up is making it look better. So, well, yes, I could just go into work again, black polo shirt, black jeans, and maybe just my black watch. It's very simple, very bare bones.
Right.
But overall, like, I would love to go into work with, again, my wallet chain, studded belt, very, very hot topic. But it's just, again, it's a lot of extra steps. And I have to admit, to a certain point, I am a little lazy about dressing up. I will do it for special occasions. Like I said, this goth night that I had at my local nightclub, I'll do it for that. But just doing it every day for work is just like, eh.
And you know what? I'm happy that you said that. Because I was waiting for you to say that. This is something that I feel like it. Look, to you, the listener, right, or the watcher. This is something,
all you baby bats out there,
right? All you baby bats out there, and even for some seasoned alternative individuals, like, this is for you. Rest assured that you do not have to be dressing up every single day. You don't have to wear your chain. You don't have to wear your rings and your brooches, and you don't have to wear your tie clips, and like, you really don't have to go hard every single day. Like most days I look like I do now. Look, I'm wearing an Evil Dead shirt.
Yeah.
Woo. And I've got my sweatpants on because I'm doing a podcast.
Of course. No one can see you below the waist, so.
Right, exactly. But if I was doing any other kind of video, if I was doing a tutorial on how to look goth or at least nail the look, oh yeah, jewelry's an essential. Now, with that being said, Tim, should I wear jewelry to to work? No.
It depends on your job, essentially.
Right, and look, I'm a jeweler, and I only wear 2 rings every day, a watch, and a tie clip. That's it. That's the extent of my jewelry. Other than the little tiny things, other than your main things,
Right.
I hold a game night, right? Like, I'm a pretty social person. I have a game night, and almost every game night, you'll see me going full makeup. I'll do the white face, the black lips. I'll do my eyebrows up. I will literally go as hard as I can with that look because it's a special occasion. It's a social occasion. I want people to see me.
Exactly.
I want them to see the real me. But to do it every day, oh my Lord. I know that there are some people who do, right?
And credit to you, Godspeed for you, because you have a level of determination that I aspire to, but I do not have at the moment.
I'm telling you, I've seen it. We have seen it. We saw it on TikTok. We saw it on YouTube. There are individuals out there that will spend hours before their day even begins just getting ready to be goth. Getting ready to be alternative. Changing out their piercings, putting in the contacts, doing the makeup, doing the hair. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You can't ask me to do that before I go to work.
Right. Every single day, 5-6 days a week. It's like, again, it's a level of, if that is you have a level of dedication to the style and the culture that a lot of people do not have.
Right. And with that being said, okay, well, should I go to the movies dressed up? Should I go to dinner dressed up? Yeah, if you want.
Again, special occasion.
This is a special occasion. And sure, you might only be wearing. This is a good example of my case. You might only be wearing that for the night. You might only be wearing that for less than the night. You
Yeah,
might only be wearing that for like 2 hours.
a couple
straight.
hours, yeah.
Yeah. And then you go home, you take it all off, and you said, I did good. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It is that easy. But back to being a professional, like, at work, I don't go all out because I can't.
Of course.
But I can always try to express myself the best to my ability. I've got the jewelry that really I need to wear to work, and I've got my black suit. You've got your black polo, your black jeans. It's pretty easy to express yourself as an alt person at the workplace. It is pretty damn easy. What are some?
Unless essentially you do have, again, a place where you work, say, in the service industry or like a restaurant or something where you actually have a dedicated uniform. It's very easy ways to show your how alternative you are.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, let's say, I love that you mentioned that, because there are jobs, like, let's say you go to a retail chain, right?
Sure.
Everybody has a uniform. We're looking at grocery stores. We're looking at Wally World. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a way they have to look. Well, you can still look alternative without having to wear the black. Let's say, okay, well, you work at Walmart. Well, you can wear piercings at Walmart. I know that much. That's not against policy. You can show your tattoos. Let's say you work at a job like Publix, where they have
whatever local grocery store you have.
Maybe I've seen some grocery stores that are pretty lenient on outfits. But if we're talking like a real strict company, right? That I know this because I used to work for them.
Yes.
Real strict uniform. You gotta wear your green polo. You gotta wear your apron. Well, you can do your hair up. Maybe you can't have the piercings. It is real hard to express yourself at a company like that that's so strict on the uniform.
Is there any type of I know, like, again, some like service industries, like where waiter, waitress, or some other food industries, could you possibly maybe decorate, not decorate may not be the word, but accessorize your apron, hypothetically, at Publix? You put a pin on something, maybe a bat pin or something, or a spider web pin, something like that. Again, I never worked there. I don't know what the terms are.
It's hard to say because it's been years and years since.
It's been almost a decade, essentially.
Right. It's hard to say because each establishment is ran by management. Management has a different view of leniency, right? Of course, company policy covers the entire thing, but
of course,
at the core of it, I would say yes, absolutely. Wear a pin, wear something, and if somebody tells you to take it off, you're shit out of luck. You can go dress any way you want outside of work.
Right. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to put on that corporate disguise so we can all survive in this world we're living in. So
exactly. What did they say, Black Veil Brides, recently in their most recent song? They want you to look the way they want you to look.
Right.
And it's like crap. It is so hard to express yourself nowadays. Or on the opposite end, it is extremely freaking easy nowadays. And it's both. It's both really, really hard to express yourself to the people that love you and you love, who might not understand you. And this is a sensitive topic. A lot of the times growing up and I'm sure you would agree with me, Will, it's just like people misunderstand you all the time.
Absolutely.
Why do you listen to that heavy, angry music? And you're like,
it's all just screaming and
right. Well, little did they know, I listened to it to go to sleep.
Right. Oh my God, I've seen not to cut you off, but I've seen so many TikToks lately where it's like, the caption is, me at work, and it's, you're typing on the computer with your headphones, but it's got like Knocked Loose going, going on in the headphones, and you're just like typing up this report.
Yeah, I saw. Well, I've seen a video on social media where like some chick was just walking, she was smiling, she was wearing pink and everything, right? She looked very, very Paris Hilton, and she had her headphones in, and like she came across this metal guy, and he was just like, "What are you listening to?" And she took it out, and she was listening to like some heavy fucking metal, and the guy was just like, "Respect," you know.
Respect. Exactly.
But when it comes to so because talking about, you know, professionalism in the workplace, we can only go so far with that conversation.
Right.
But it kind of extends outwards to like, okay, well, what about some other professional outlets like school, like education, you know? Like when you go, if you were to go back to college right now, how would you go?
Again, probably wouldn't go full out with, you know, again, chains, studded belt and everything, but definitely would probably stick with the black on black, you know, maybe probably a band t-shirt. Maybe I would actually keep the studded belt, but again, just for the sake of convenience, I would probably not, you know, use all my accessories, but selectively where I felt like it was tasteful.
Right. Yes. And that is a huge thing when it comes to like at least dressing up for the occasion, you know, have it be tasteful. Of course, we're talking about
in a vaguely professional setting,
right? In a vaguely professional setting, and this goes beyond work, you know, and it goes beyond school too. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to a wedding, right? How should you dress? Well, I would say, you know, dress your best. But do what you feel comfortable. I think it's completely appropriate to look as goth as possible at a wedding.
Yes.
You know, if and say the people that getting married are not alternative at all, right? I don't think it's about a respect thing. I think because I know that there are some people who would be like, "Oh, that was very disrespectful that you look that way." And
it depends. Essentially, the only real, I mean, there are guidelines to a wedding attire, but I mean, the biggest thing is if you're a female, don't wear white.
Yeah.
Don't match the bride. I mean, as guys, it's either, you know, you wear whatever suit you want, or you get a tux.
Right.
If it's, you know, that kind of event. But I mean, you wear a black suit, you're covered.
Yeah.
You don't need anything. You know, you're within bounds essentially. You know, so if you want to dress that up however you want, you want that red tie, you want that, you want those accessories. You're still within bounds.
You know, and it's of course, like I don't want to speak on any ladies' attire just because like
that's not our department.
Right. I'm not a stylist for a lady, you know, or just I would rather use the word feminine, you know. You know, I'm not wearing dresses. So I don't really know how to rock a dress or make it look good.
Right.
But basically what I'm trying to say is if you're on the feminine side of the way you dress and you're going to a wedding, rock it. And when I say rock it, I mean like metal it out, you know, and feel no shame. I don't think anybody should be able to shame you. That's something I believe in, you know, like don't shame me, I won't shame you. I would love for somebody to be like, why are you dressed like this? And me right back, same energy. Why are you dressed like that? Why aren't you dressed like this? Do you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, essentially, again, for the female presenting people, it's like, as long as you're not one of the bridesmaids, because I'm pretty sure the bridesmaids actually will have like themed dresses to match the bride, not match the bride, but like they will be.
Oh yeah.
Like all the bridesmaids that are involved in the wedding will have similar dresses to each other.
Right. Yeah,
so
yeah.
When you're in, if you have a role like that in the wedding, you kind of have to, you know, match with everyone else.
Look, if you're a bridesmaid or a groomsman, you have no choice. You do what they want. You know what I mean?
It's their day. They selected you to be a part of this.
Right.
Take that honor as it is.
But if you're just a guest,
if you're just as a guest, go ham.
I'm telling you, next wedding I go to, and I'm not like a groomsman or anything like that. Ooh, I'm gonna look so fresh. It's not even gonna make sense. With my silver tie, black shirt, black jacket, my little brooch, silver watch, silver bracelets, silver rings. You know what I mean? I might even rock a nose ring that day. I don't know.
Why not? Go all out.
Yeah, put my ear clips in. I mean, you can look really, really sharp and still be really, really alt. I promise you. You know?
Again, it's the whole, like we said, keeping it tasteful.
Yeah. Keep it tasteful, keep it appropriate. Let me put it that way. You know, whenever I go out, I try to look my absolute best, no matter what I'm wearing. And that, mind you, it's not my absolute best. I'm trying to impress me because I matter to me. You know, when I look in the mirror, am I comfortable in the way I look?
That's exactly it.
Yes, you know,
that's what it's about. It's about when you look in the mirror, you're happy at what's looking back at you.
Right. Exactly. I don't care if somebody goes, why are you wearing like calf boots? Because I want to.
Why are you wearing long sleeves walking around South Florida? It's because it's what I like.
Oh Lord. Just a little side note. Do you remember years and years ago? I was wearing leather jackets in the summer in South Florida.
Oh yeah.
Get this, internet. Leather jackets and genuine cowhide too. Like this was a moto jacket. I paid like maybe $200 for this jacket.
Tim did not fuck around with this one.
Yeah, leather jacket, middle of summer, 102 degrees outside. Couldn't care less. Oh, I was rocking it. What I wanted to be a rock star so badly, you know. Good days. And now I get to wear leather whenever I want because I express myself.
Right.
You know.
But again, even at that point, I mean, you wore that very often. But I mean, I think even that day, like, you know, that was our concert. So
yes.
You had to show out for that day.
Oh Lord, I remember almost passing out during Slayer's like when Slayer was coming in. You know, I feel with all the fire.
Oh yeah.
I had to take that bitch off. I took it off and I just held it in my arms the entire time. And
did you?
Oh no, I didn't. I gave it to Christine.
There you go.
There it is. That's right.
I was gonna say you did not hold on to that.
I did
jacket
not hold on to that jacket.
Shout out to Christine, friend of the channel. Love you to death.
Just love you so much. And thanks for holding my jacket, my heavy motorcycle jacket in the middle of summer
at a Slayer show.
At a Slayer show. Yes, thank you so much for that. And just like, you know, I feel so connected with the way I look now and who I'm trying to present to the world. You know, it's like, I don't know if you'd agree with this. It's almost like character building, you know, but it's yourself.
It's like in a video game, like how you customize your character, except again, it is literally you.
I think that's one of the coolest parts about the alt community is our attire. You know, we can look definitely. Definitely. We can look any way we want. You want to rock it with your arms out, wear a tank top, like one of those metal tank tops, you know, it says Metallica on it. You want to rock some camo pants, you know what I mean, like military fatigues.
Get those cargos.
Shit. Yeah, get those cargos going. What? You know, you can wear flared out jeans, skinny jeans, boot cut. The alt community really has more options in attire than I would say most other like subcategories of identification. Like honest to God. You think about all the ways you can tweak,
mix and match, and
oh my God, like
the options are almost endless. And then again, like we're just talking about the basic, you know, okay, you know, how do you wear, what kind of pants do you wear, what kind of shirt do you wear? That's not even getting into like the things we were talking about earlier, like of how you garnish it.
Right.
Accessories, chains, watches, watches, rings, necklaces,
earrings, piercings.
Yeah, piercings.
I mean, even when it comes to that, like, okay, I'm a jeweler. I wear a suit all the time. Like, look, I can go out, and we've talked about this before. It's just, I can go out and get a different color, or not color. I can get a different fabric type.
Yeah.
And it just be absolutely killer. You know, like it just be the way I want to look.
Exactly.
You know, I love velvet. I'm trying to get myself a nice velvet jacket to wear to work.
Again, though, you do live in the South, so heat is a factor.
Yeah, I know. It was so hot today. It was so hot today, guys. I don't know where you're living or where you're watching us, but it was hot as hell in Georgia today. Oh my God. I almost melted walking outside. 30 seconds outside, and I had to redo my hair because it was just so sweaty. Oh my God. It's too much. But yeah, when we think about professionalism and being alt, I'm sure the majority who are not alt think that it's unprofessional to look alt in the workplace. I think that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, because again, it's just the thing of like when they think of someone who is alt, they're thinking of someone who's probably wearing tattered jeans and a band T-shirt, and they think, oh, this guy probably can't. This guy or girl, excuse me, probably can't be a quality employee. This person's gonna show up late, slack off, and they make character judgments just based on appearance, and that's their loss.
By its cover, right? It's funny. I just saw the movie The Bike Riders. Shout out to the Bike Riders. Shout out Tom Hardy. Shout out Austin Butler. You guys did amazing in that movie. But it makes me think about that. Do you think, in some way, some form, some aspect, since the days of the 60s, with motorcycle gangs getting big, do you think that the general public identifies alt style with motorcycle gangs and just that entire impression that they've put on society? They wear a lot of black leather. They wear all tattered up, all tattooed, all pierced up. It's a very similar vein to metalheads. Or
it's in the same ballpark, but I feel that it may not be exactly the same because this is just my interpretation. I feel the motorcycle look invites more, and again, I'm generalizing here. I'm making a wild assumption. Generally shows more illegal aspects. You think of like the Hells Angels, you think of gang activity.
Right.
You think of things like that. Whereas I would say probably more if you just looked at more of like one of the mall goth styles, someone dressed like that, you'd probably think, oh, this person's probably just, again, not a quality employee. Just not a quality employee. I wouldn't necessarily think criminal.
It's funny to hear that because I myself rode a bike. Right. And I rode with other people. It was really fun. I love doing that. And I've got my district supervisor. He runs a motorcycle club. This is my district supervisor. He's in his 60s. He's like mostly bald on his head. He wears an oversized suit. I love you. If you ever happen to watch this ever, which I'm sure will never happen.
Hopefully not.
But... Right. I love you to death. You're an amazing district supervisor. Couldn't ask for better. But your suits are super oversized, man. You got to go get those tailored. But it's fine because you're not wearing a suit all the time, are you? You're probably out there running your motorcycle club. And again, this is a club. I mean, we're talking like 60, 70 cyclists.
Wow.
Cyclists. Riders. Right? 60, 70.
They get very mad if you call them cyclists.
Yeah, I know, right? 60, 70 riders who are all coming for one group to do community work. They buy a bunch of hot dogs, hamburgers. They sit outside like with all their motorcycles, has a motorcycle show, has a car show, everything. And it's all nonprofit. This is coming from a motorcycle club. You know what I mean? Like, those aren't criminals.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that everyone who rides a motorcycle is.
Yeah, I'm
just saying, like, if you took a general person and you thought that...
The general person, their impression of, the motorcycle dude, the motorcycle chick is generally, oh, this person's a lowlife. Oh,
this person's asking for trouble.
Right. Oh, I don't want to make any trouble with this person because he or she might cut me, might pull a gun on me. Might call their friends, but it's not like that. It's like, look, most riders actually just love to ride.
Yeah.
Motorcycle gangs, They exist. Of course they do. Hell's Angels. Of course they do. But I mean, that's not everybody. And there's a lot more people in the world who love motorcycles beyond, your motorcycle gang.
Likewise, how there are more people who dress alternatively that are stand-up people, will work as hard as possible. But there are, of course, some that just want to sit outside Hot Topic or Spencer's.
Right. And, and that's what I wanted to bring back to, that full circle. It's like, look at you and I, for example. I would say, you guys make your own assumptions. I would say we're pretty hard workers. You know what I mean? We're pretty dedicated to what we do. And we're smart about it. We're not going to leave our jobs. We're not going to, we're very up here about that, but we're alt.
Yeah.
I mean, we're alt.
It has no bearing on our quality of work.
Right. Like I'm in the Bible Belt. For those of you across seas, that's the southeastern United States.
Yeah.
I'm in the Bible Belt. You take one look at me, I've been called Satanist, and I'm a man of God. I've been called lowlife, and I'm a jeweler. You know what I mean?
Like if you weren't trustworthy and doing your job, they wouldn't let you around, tens of thousands to hundreds of $1,000s worth of jewelry every day. They wouldn't let you manage a store with all that valuable in it. Right.
And keyword, manage the store. I didn't just get a job. Like, I got a career going. I'm GIA certified, for anybody who cares. But like, you look at me, you look at you. You've got college degrees, that you've got a job that took college degrees to get. I've got a job that most people see as one of your luxury jobs, and look at us.
Yeah. You never know. Well, actually, depending on how we dress, you would probably know that we listen to all kinds of screamy and dark music all the time.
But and there's glory in that, and there's solace in that, because you should know who you are. End of the day, you should know who you are. If you don't know who you are, I implore you to find yourself. It is one of the most enlightening feelings in the entire world. I recently went through finding myself, and boy, oh boy, have I never been happier. I've actually been very, very brought down. I don't want to use the word depressed. I'm not depressed. I haven't been, I haven't gone to a doctor, not diagnosed.
Right. Not diagnosed.
Right. But, my feelings have been brought down over the years, dressing how other people wanted me to get
trying to fit in.
Right. Trying to fit in, to either get the job, get the partner, make a friend. I don't think I should have to be able to do those things, like dress the way they want me to, for me to build rapport with somebody. I can build rapport with you by being me.
Exactly.
All I gotta do is just be a good person. So, what else you got? What else can we talk about on this subject?
Well, I mean, again, as you mentioned, like how you are with your tattoos. Like, if you took your suit jacket off, you rolled your sleeves up, it's unfortunate that people probably wouldn't come to you if you were just at your store wearing your casual wear.
Oh, Lord, no.
They wouldn't think, I wouldn't trust this guy. This guy's not going to probably steal my credit card information.
Right. Oh, this guy's going to sell my wife her engagement ring? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I'm going to sell the engagement ring.
Yeah. Again, it's just this misconception based on the first sight that they have of you that...
it's funny. So a lot of you'll see it. If you study psychology, right, and you study the psychology of impressions, they say you can either make one really great impression or 8 consecutive okay impressions to outdo one negative impression. Right? I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who's going to give me 8 more chances for them to like me. Right? So we had this one,
or to give you 8 chances to say yes, I will buy from you.
Right, exactly. And this isn't even a sales setting. This is literally just impressions, right? And let's say, because I don't like to use the word buy, I like to use the term buy in, right? okay, well, I'm buying into this thought. I'm buying into this person. I'm buying into this item. Make the right impression the first time, and it doesn't matter what you're wearing sometimes, but make the right impression the first time, and people will overlook your appearance. How many times have I met less fortunate people in this world who are unhoused. I'll call them the unhoused angels, right? And they are just angels. I'm talking like some homeless people that I've met, just the best souls that you'll ever meet. They just have the greatest outlook on life, and most people just walk by them. Actually, most people would walk around them. They wouldn't even want to walk by them.
Wouldn't even give them the time of day to even just...
Right, And it's like, well, you don't know the quality of that person's soul. You don't know the quality of that person's personality, or what they're going through right now, or why they even look this way or ended up this way. Give them the time. Speak to them. Understand them. Just like you should do to yourself. Give yourself the time. Speak to yourself. Understand yourself. Express yourself. And I promise you're going to be a lot happier, especially in the workplace, if you can. If you're limited to a uniform that's really constricting,
find a way to dress it up.
Right. Dress it up. Ask your manager or whoever your superiors are, hey, can I do this? And likely you'll see, just asking, inquiring, asking permission, you'll see a lot of times people just say, I don't care.
Yeah. Or if there is, again, like we said, a store policy about something like, oh, you can't wear, rings or anything like that, or you can't dress up, your uniform in any type of way. Try with makeup. Try your face.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe cut your hair a different way. There are ways to express yourself within the boundaries.
Oh, I have to say it. I have to talk about something, and it's
one last thing before we wrap up.
Yeah, one last thing before we wrap up, and I have to say it because it's so near and dear to me. Hair, right?
So many things you could do with it.
If you're an masculine alt, right, and you decide to grow your hair out long, and you try and get a job, and someone says, cut your hair. Cut your hair. But don't give in to what they want. Cut your hair the way you want to cut it.
Right.
I mean, make it look appropriate. Get the job. But
do it so you can get the job.
Right. Yeah,
do it so you can get the job. But there's almost definitely a way you can still keep your alternative look
100%.
While being job appropriate.
I have gone bald to get a job. Right? I have literally shaved my head. I've been in the car business, shaved my head bald, hated every moment of it. Had to wait for my hair to grow back. Well, shit, that was my problem. But if someone says, hey, could you maybe, cut your hair? And you got super long hair, you're a metalhead, or if you're a young, feminine, alt person, and someone says, hey, could you tie your hair back, or can you get the hair out of your face or something like that, right? Just say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Let me get the job, get that paycheck first, and style your hair. Maybe, for anybody with long hair, if they tell you to cut it, get an alt cut, get an edgy cut,
Yeah.
And if anybody who they say you don't have to cut your hair, but we definitely need it out of your face, pull it back.
There are ways to do it.
There are ways to do it. And hair will always grow back. I know because I've been bald. Well, guys, we thank you for listening to today's episode. And to wrap things up, we ask that if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star rating. If you feel like we've deserved that, earned it, just leave us a review.
You can find the links to all of our social media in the description below, including our Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. So with all that being said, we hope you've enjoyed, and stay gothic, YouTube.